everybody, this is Robin from Lily Lane Decor and Design. And today I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I've been meaning to make a video regarding floating shelves. I do have one, an older one that shows one type of floating shelf, but there's two main ways of installing floating shelves or of making them. And I get asked about floating shelves quite a bit, and it's hard to explain through typing in a message. So I thought I'd make a video to show you all. So the two types of floating shelves are these box style. They're ones you often see on DIY tutorials. They have a wooden cleat. They can look like this, or sometimes they're enclosed and have a box in the front. And there's also a second style. So these are hollow. This mounts to the wall, and then the box just slides over top. None of these are finished. They haven't been stained or painted or anything, but I just want to show you the installation, and once I have the hardware on the wall, I can go ahead and finish this part and then just slide it on. These ones I find easier for most people because you don't have to worry about positioning. You can put your screws anywhere along here once you've mounted it to the wall. It's a little easier to handle. All of the shelves that I'm working with today are 18 inches. I would recommend an 18-inch long shelf. That way you can hit 2 studs. None of these are going to hold an extreme amount of weight. They're more designed for decorative purposes. So the second style is a solid wood shelf. So here I've got a thicker 2-inch piece of, this is actually juniper. It's going to be really pretty when it's done. So that's this one. This one's just a little over 1 inch, and it's already mounted. So I'll show you the hardware for it. So it just has 2 little metal bars here that slide inside, and I'll show you here how this works. So there's a hole drilled here, and then it's been, I did this one with the table saw. I'll show you the other one. It was done with the router. So I just cleaned out a little area so that this mounting bracket can slide in there, and it's not going to stick out from the wall or leave a gap between them all. So that's how that works. These are mounted 16 inches apart, or drilled 16 inches apart, so that I can hit 2 studs. So when you're putting them up in your house, you'll need a stud finder. Because I'm going into plywood out here, I don't have to worry as much about studs, and they're just here on display for sale. So this is not, I'm not storing things on them. They're not going to be here forever. But at home, definitely get one of these little guys and use it to find your studs. So you're drilling into studs. Yeah, so that one I've already put up. So just afterwards, they just fit on here. Oops. And then they just slide on. And there's my little shelf on the wall ready to display some items. So for the next one, to mount it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, I'll show you this one. So this one, because it's thicker, I routered out the back. Again, just for that little hardware. The holes are drilled here and here. If it was a longer shelf and I had to decide where I was going to put the holes in order to hit those studs, and you're ordering one, then you need to measure your studs and decide, like, do you want them in the center, equal distance? How do you want to position those so that the shelf ends up on the wall in the position you want, and your hardware is going into the studs in your wall. So what I did here, I'm just going to put a second little shelf here. So I just put it up against the wall. I used my little level to make sure that it was level, and then I just drew across the corners here so I know where I want to put it. Then I've been incredibly scientific here. I've actually dipped my little hardware into mud so it can mark and show me. You could use ink, you can use other things, you can measure if you want, but I've just done that. Then I'm going to put it in my shelf. I'm going to use my little marks here. I'm going to line it all up, and I'm just going to press it. And what we're hoping for is that it just leaves some nice little marks. I didn't do a very good job there. We're going to try that one more time. I'm actually just going to hold these a little bit out. Oops, there we go. And there we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to do that one again. And let's just see if we can get that to press in. Okay, so on this side it's not too bad. I actually think that's my center. So I'm going to just wipe the mud off now. I don't want mud on my wall to stay there. and put this here. I'm going to get my screws and my driver. And just, I don't know, can you guys see what I'm doing? Yes, I think you can. Screw in there. And keep it nice and even. And in here. There we go. Okay. Goes right here. And again, the same thing. Just pop in 2 screws in here. That one kind of dropped a little bit. Just see if it works. Okay, and then just lining those up. There, and there's my little floating shelf there on the wall. And that's all there is to it. Then those ones are hung up. And that's pretty good. So, like I said, that's those brackets. So if you are wanting those kind of shelves made, then you do have to do a little bit more measuring and work on the ordering end, so that I make sure that I've got those holes drilled to line up and fit your wall the way you want. Trying to decide if I want to mount a third one here or not in this area. Let's see. What would that look like? And put it together and see what it would look like. If not, I have another spot it can go. Here. I think it looks kind of weird. It doesn't really match with those other 2. So we are going to just swing the camera around here and come over this way to this wall. And I'm going to put that one in here. I think I'm actually going to take maybe this little guy down. There we go. I can actually sit on that shelf. So these guys are a lot easier. So again, if you're going to be using your stud finder, find your studs, line this up, and with these ones, oops, I gotta change my driver because I brought different screws. So, okay. If you have one of these cleats that has a bar that goes across here, you will need a long driver bit to install it, because otherwise you're going to be working around a bar across this way. This one doesn't. It's really easy. And all I'm going to do with it, if I had studs and I was finding studs, I would make sure that I had lined that up. And here I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my screw. Make sure it stays nice and tight to the wall. I'm going to put that in. Get that nice little level again. And level it up. Pop in a second screw. And there you go. There's the box style. These can be made lots of different sort of styles. You can have trim on them. These are done with like 1/2-inch wood, so it's really nice and thin. So they're really light. Can be finished lots of different ways. And that's the end of that. And then again, nice little shelf. Just store your things on it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to snap a couple of pictures of these so that you have that as reference as well when if you decide you want to order one. Thanks for watching.